I got a question for you, Eric. Another one of the great moments, and it could have been even greater. Why didn't you open up the door when DX showed up? Because it could have been the greatest moment, not in wrestling history, but the greatest moment in the history of the planet Earth had those elephant doors rose up and say, I don't know, Hawk Ming is standing there with Big Show. I mean, can you take us back to that and what was going on?
Well, first of all, let me just tell you what would have happened had I opened that door. I'd have walked backstage expecting to see bodies and teeth flying all over the place.
Bodies and teeth.
I would have probably seen 6 or 8 guys huddled up in a corner, sharing a 12-pack of beer and rolling a joint. These guys were all friends.
Yeah, right.
They were going to beat the hell out of each other because of their company loyalty. That's number one. Number two, though, I was in the middle of the ring. Now, I got into a really heated debate with my podcast host, Conrad Thompson, over this once when we first started doing shows together. That happened during basketball playoffs. My show, typically Nitro, started at 8:00 Eastern, but because of the NBA, we got moved and we started like at 6. So it was still light out, right? So I'm in the ring doing, I was live. It wasn't tape. It was live. And I've got an IFB in my ear and I'm running my mouth, talking about whatever I was talking about. And my assistant is in the truck, in the production truck. She says, Eric, WWE is here. WWE is here. What should we do? And of course, I couldn't just stop what I was doing. I was on live television. So Doug Dillinger, our head of security, he handled it the best way he could figure out how to handle it. And he just shut the doors and prevented anything from escalating.
Yeah.
Had I known, if I would have had 60 seconds advance notice before I got into the ring, I definitely would have opened up the doors. It would have been interesting. It would have been interesting because those guys weren't going to do anything.
Yeah, well, you want to improv? Let's improv, baby.
I would hope, Eric, that they were friends, but I would also hope that they were professional enough that they would have thrown down.
Listen,
because that's what was expected. Not necessarily really killing each other, but I would hope that. Look, we know what we got to do right now.
We're doing Broadway with violence, bro.
It would have been awesome. And they may, all the time I've spent, I'm friends with Paul Levesque now. I've worked in WWE for years. Bruce Pritchard's one of my closest friends, and he was like the mastermind behind that thing. And, I never asked them, hey, what would you guys have done if we'd opened the doors? Because it would have been awkward. They wouldn't have known what to do. It's like, should we shake hands with everybody or should we fake fight or what should we do? But it would have been great. The two things I wish would have happened. One is I wish I would have let them in the door. I wish I would have known in advance so I could have let them in. And I wish that Vince McMahon would have showed up when I challenged him to fight. Those are the two things that didn't happen that I wish would have happened.
Watch new episodes of No Contest Wrestling every Wednesday or listen wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to follow us at No Contest Wrestling Podcast on Instagram.